Hello, that will be an basic and summary of teaching past simple tense. It's not going to be so long. We will talk about teaching past simple tense just in shortly. And I want to make the introduction part first. Why we should teach the past simple tense, how we can apply this process while teaching that topic. For this project, I will be preparing materials for teaching the past simple tense, focusing on both regular and irregular verbs. And I think that one is one of the most important points while teaching the past simple tense because most of the students have some difficulties while applying the regular and irregular verbs. It's kind of complexible for students. The lesson will be structured in three parts: presentation, practice, the chain drill activity, and production. Find someone who activity. This structure ensures that students first understand the concept, then practice it in guided manner, and finally use it in a more communicative and interactive way. So basically, it will be like that. In traditional methods, most of the time the teachers start to talk about the past simple tense, what is it, how we can apply it, the rules, the regular verbs and the irregular verbs. But here we got some new methods actually about the presentation part, the chain drill activity, and other activities. Uh, it's about the force students enable and give chance to students to use the communicative way more than the traditional methods, traditional rules, and I think that's a good point for us. Introduction to past simple tense. To introduce the past simple tense, I will start with a short story or conversation that includes past simple verbs naturally. For example, I can show the following dialogue right here on the board. Yesterday, I woke up late. I quickly got dressed and ran to the bus stop. Unfortunately, I missed the bus. So I walked to school. When I arrived, the teacher had already started the lesson. So after reading the dialogue aloud, I will ask students to identify the verbs and underline them. Then I will explain the past simple tense. It's like, uh, for example, here we got a past simple, right? Woke up, and naturally it's wake up. In past, it's woke up. It will be like that. So regular verbs, and we need to explain to student what is regular verbs, what are regular verbs, what are irregular verbs. We add ed to the base form, walk, walked, play, played, studied, studied. This is the regular verbs, but the irregular verbs, these verbs change completely and need to be memorized, like the go, went, eat, ate, see, so. Here, we got some examples here. And uh, as I said, it's one of the most important part, the regular verbs, the irregular verbs, because it can be sometimes complex and some difficult for the students. And we got the negative and question form. We also need to explain those to the students. We use did not, so didn't, and base form. For the question form, we use did and the subject and the base form. For example, for the negative one, I didn't go to school. For the question form, we use the did you go to school? To reinforce the rules, I will provide a table with common regular and irregular verbs in the past simple tense. And as I said, we can use a short story or complexible and not complexible, the basic stories from the life, and that will enable students to understand the topic better. And that was my part. Now, with the chain drill activity, my friend will keep going on.
Thank you. Chain drill activity. A chain drill is a structured speaking activity where students ask and answer questions in a continuous pattern. This helps them practice fluency and accuracy. How it works. Firstly, I will begin with asking a student a question in the past simple tense. For example, what did you do yesterday? Secondly, the student will answer using the past simple. I watched a movie. Then the students will turn to the next person and ask the same question, and the process continues until everyone has asked a question. Variations on slips of paper, such as where did you go last weekend? What did you eat for breakfast? Who did you meet last week? Students will randomly
I'll talk about the production part, so let's go deep in it. So find someone who activity. For the final production activity, students will move around the classroom and ask their classmates past simple questions to complete a worksheet. And there are some instructions explaining how we can do this activity in the classroom environment. So it says statement. Each student receives a worksheet with statements like find someone who went to the cinema last weekend, find someone who ate pizza yesterday, find someone who traveled to another city last month. And the second one is students must walk around, ask their classmates, and record the names of those who match the statements. And the third one is they must ask questions using the past simple tense. Did you go to the cinema last weekend? And did you eat pizza yesterday? And the fourth one is once they find a match, they write the name of their classmate next to the statement. And when it comes to why this activity works, we can say it encourages real life communication. Students practice question formation in the past simple, and it makes learning interactive and fun. And as the conclusion part, we can say this lesson plan follows the PP model, and we can simplify it if we open it up. So teach the past tense. We can explanation and examples, move on